Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. And welcome to another episode of Figure Focus, this series where I get to choose figures from a certain character for my own personal Star Wars collection within the 3 3/4 and 6-inch lines and give you my own personal thoughts and opinions on those figures. As you can see, today's focus is Boba Fett. Okay then, so since Boba Fett only really ever had one kind of look, there were however lots of different versions of that figure. And kicking us off, we have the 3 3/4 inch Black Series prototype Boba Fett. And I've got to say, I really do like this figure. I think he looks pretty cool. Not a big fan of the Black Series boxes, I never have been. I think they look kind of bland. But yeah, I do, however, like this figure, and I would like to get him loose at some point. So whether that be through another Black Series version of this figure, or go the route of the TVC, but then I'd keep him on the card. So I'll probably get another one loose and then try and get the TVC carded figure at some point later on down the line. They also do him in the 6-inch version. Again, I've had the opportunity to get this figure, but I've passed him by. Not really a priority at the moment, if I'm honest, but nonetheless I really do like this figure, and I do think he's a good looking figure. Anyhow, that's enough of this dude. Let's crack on and let's have a look at the next versions. So next up then, we have the original looking Kenner version of Boba Fett, and he's represented in my collection by the original version itself, the TVC version, the Retro Collection version, and the 6-inch Black Series version. And I've got to say, wow, I am loving these figures. I just think they look absolutely great, and the colours really do pop. Now, I liked Boba Fett as a kid. He wasn't my favourite at that time, but looking at him now, I just really appreciate the look of the figure itself. And I know it's nothing like how he looked in the films, but I just, what an iconic looking figure this is in this version. And when the Black Series did their version for the 40th Empire Strikes Back anniversary, this was a San Diego exclusive back in 2019. I paid a little bit of money for this figure, but it was one of those figures that I thought, I need this in my collection. He looks absolutely tremendous. He will be on the card back. The card back looks fantastic. It's a kind of foily card, so I'm really liking that. But the colours look absolutely awesome. And how cool does that Boba Fett look? I'm absolutely digging that figure. I really do like it. And one day I'm hoping to get that sent off and get it graded. He just looks absolute quality. And the same can be said for the TVC version of Boba Fett. They've recently done this. And yeah, this was the last Boba Fett figure that I've added to my collection, and I've got to say, I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. I just think it looks absolutely so cool. Those colours just work on 6-inch and on the modern day TVC version, just absolutely tremendous. And then of course you've got the retro version in the back there. I'm not going to say anything about the cards because most people by now should know how I feel about the cards. Not a big fan, I'll leave it at that. But to have an original looking version on card back, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Liking it a lot. And yeah, what can I say? This is by far my favourite version of Boba Fett. And just absolute quality, really are. And I'm just liking it. And just going off on a tangent, I really do wish that Hasbro would do more of these figures in modern day versions, like the paint apps that they had. I mean, yes, we do need modern day versions of certain figures for sure, but how cool would it be to do a line of modern day figures in the colours of the original Kenner figures? They've done a few with the Black Series already, like Greedo, Obi-Wan, and there was another figure as well. Forgive me, I can't remember. But yeah, how cool would that be? I would be all over that. That would be awesome. Anyhow, enough of this guy. Let's crack on and see what we got next. So, following on from the original Kenner-looking version of Boba Fett, we now have Boba Fett from the animated TV series Droids, and he's represented in both 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch. And the 3 3/4 inch is part of the 50th Lucasfilm anniversary, and I've got to say, I absolutely love this. It's the new sculpted version of Boba Fett, the one that we'll see a bit later on from Return of the Jedi. And I've got to say, it's absolutely incredible. What a great looking card back. You've got the coin on there and just the paint apps, and it absolute tremendous. And I'm really, really liking this version. He is definitely going to get sent away to be graded at some point. I just love that. What a great looking figure. That is so cool. The card back, the paint apps, everything about it. And the same could be said for the 6 inch version as well. That looks absolutely amazing. Again, the paint apps suit the figure, and I'm just really glad I've got these figures in my collection. They look so cool. The animated series Droids wasn't great. I've recently rewatched the series on Disney Plus, and it hasn't aged very well. But at the time, wow, I thought it was brilliant. And just seeing more Star Wars back then as a kid, really enjoyed it. And I've got to say, I really do like this figure. And this figure comes close second to my original vintage Kenner looking Boba Fett's. I'm just really liking these. So that's a very close second. So yeah, I really can't praise these two figures enough. I think they look absolutely great. I won't be getting any more of these versions. I was just going to keep these carded. There's no point getting another one to open up and displaying. I don't see the point. I don't have a Droids line. I've got C-3PO and R2-D2, but I think that's going to be that as far as that's concerned. And like I say, they were part of the 50th Lucasfilm anniversary. So yeah, once again, great looking figures. Really happy that I've got them in my collection. And not much else I can say. So let's roll on. Alrighty then, so next up we have the modern day version of the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. And this is represented in my collection by TVC and by Black Series. And as you can see, I do have a fair few Black Series versions of this character. Same sculpt, same mould, just different packaging. So I have the original version in the Black Series there, with the black box, the window, and the orange line down the back. I also have the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back carded version, which I just absolutely think looks tremendous. Really liking that. And I also have the archive version carded. The reason I have that one is because I bought him first and I was going to keep him carded. And then I think I got the original version of Boba Fett. And then I just thought, you know what, I'll just keep them all carded. So that's why I've done that. And then in front, I have one loose. And again, that's how I display my 40th anniversary figures. I have the card in the case at the back, with the figure standing in front, and I just really like the way that displays. And I've got to say, it is it's a decent looking figure. I do like it. I know we've had a new retooled version of Boba Fett, which I'll be getting to next. But yeah, overall, not a bad looking figure. I like I say, I quite like it. And then we have the TVC version here. Again, that has been retooled, but for its day, it was a decent figure. So I'm liking the card back there. This one's got a little bit of a crease in it, but not too worried about that. And then I've also got him loose to go in my display as well. So yeah, overall, really happy. Liking this style, like the look, and yeah, a decent figure. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Up next, we have Boba Fett and his look from Return of the Jedi, and he is represented in my collection by both TVC, which is VC186, and the 6-inch Black Series line, which is where we shall start. So as you can see, I have one open, and he is part of the Black Series standard main line. He was classed as Deluxe, and the carded figure is part of the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi line, which again is classed as Deluxe, because of the accessories and the different paint apps that this figure now has. Now, difference being between him and the Empire Strikes Back version he's a retooled figure. Plus, you've got all those awesome looking paint apps on him as well. And to be fair, I've got to say, he is a great looking figure. I like the card back. It's nice to have a different variation of card for the figure. But overall, I'm really liking this figure. Not happy with the what you would class as the Boba Fett tax, because that has really put me off getting other versions of him. But yeah, other than that, I just think he's a great looking figure. Displays really well, and I cannot wait to get an acrylic case to put this Black Series figure in. I think it's just going to look absolutely awesome. I will probably at some point get another version, because the one I have open at the moment is in my Bounty Hunters collection. The one on the card back, I wouldn't mind getting another one just to open him and have him displayed with the card and the figure at the back, and the figure standing in the front like I do with the rest of the figures. Next up then, we have the TVC version. Again, it's the same card back. Again, really liking that. And this is a repainted figure with different paint apps and a retooled figure also. I mean, again, really liking the look of it. It displays really well. So I only have 2 of these figures. One I will keep on card. The other one I shall put... Well, I've put in my sail barge, having a little discussion with Jabba. So he looks pretty cool in there. I don't think I'm going to get another one for my display, simply because I just want the figures that I've got in my vintage collection display mirrored by the TVC versions, which I'm doing at the moment, which in my opinion looks really good. But they are unbiased anyway. But yeah, overall, great looking figures. They both display really, really well. I'm really happy with these. So awesome stuff. Anyhow, let's roll on, shall we? And let's get the next figures up. Last up then, we have Boba Fett with his looks from The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett TV series. And they are represented in my collection by both Black Series and TVC. So we'll start to the left of the screen with the Mandalorian version. So you've got VC 252 there. That is Boba Fett from Morak. What a great card back that is. That is absolutely tremendous. I am loving that. Absolutely awesome. And the figure looks absolutely fantastic as well. Loving the face sculpt. Loving the colours. And I just think what a great looking figure. And I really cannot wait to get this guy open and get him in my display, which I haven't got in my display yet. No, I haven't. So yeah, I need to get him open at some point and get him in the display. Then I have the Black Series version. Again, really liking that. I think he looks great. Another awesome face sculpt. And he just looks absolutely tremendous on display. So really, really happy with how he's looking there. Awesome stuff. And then, to be fair, I think the guy on the left, Nomad Boba Fett, I think he is also from the Book of Boba Fett as well. No, he's not. He's from the Mandalorian. I do beg your pardon. Yeah, Mandalorian. So, again, awesome looking figure. Another really good face sculpt. The likeness is really, really good. And yeah, he looks really good on display. So, and he was absolutely kick-ass, wasn't he, in the Mandalorian? Wow. He was absolutely savage with that gaffy stick when he's taken on those stormtroopers, and you just thought, this is Boba Fett. This is what we wanted to see. And then they did the Book of Boba Fett, didn't they? Yeah, not really too much to say about that. So I won't. We crack on with the figure. I've not got this one open. He is a vintage collection deluxe figure, hence why he's in the box. He comes with some blast effects for his backpack and a couple of stormtrooper helmets. Anybody can tell me why they would class that as a deluxe figure, then please leave it in the comment below, because I am totally stumped. You could easily get what you needed to get on a card back with this figure. But anywho's. So yeah, that's it. That's my Boba Fett collection. I know there are a lot more different versions that you can get, comic book versions in TVC and stuff like that. And as much as I do like Boba Fett, I do now have Boba Fett fatigue. There's lots of different versions of Boba Fett that you can get, and with the added bonus of the Boba Fett tax, which is fairly off-putting, really, if I'm honest. Like I say, don't want to get too deep into it. But other than that, I'm really happy with the figures that I've got on display. I can't say that I'm disliking any of them. I have my favourites, obviously, which is the vintage Kenner versions. I think they look absolutely fantastic, closely followed by the Droids versions. I do like the Empire Strikes Back version. It's an older style figure, an older sculpt, which is fine because it was awesome in the time. And then you've got the updated, retooled versions of Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi, which again are great. They look really cool. And then you've got these versions here. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these versions. I think the tooling is fantastic. The paint apps look great. The face sculpt looks absolutely tremendous. It's just a pity with what they ended up doing with the character Boba Fett. My vision of Boba Fett now will always be from The Mandalorian, where he is knocking 10 bars of shit out of those stormtroopers with his gaffy stick. He just looked absolutely awesome. And that's how I want to remember Boba Fett. Not some... Anyway... That is it for this video. All I've got left to say now is if you are new to the channel, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know of more content. And as always, there will be more content. Really appreciate you watching. Really appreciate your support as always. Thank you. Stay safe, take care, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.